not everyone always employs common sense. So what is common sense? Let's say we're in a situation. There are two ways to tell us, two main ways to tell us the answer. Deduction, which is we're looking at the components ahead of us, and it only gives us one definite answer. And induction is we really don't know, but putting all the evidence together, this looks like the most likely explanation. Well, while we internalize our sensory experience through the five senses toward common sense, we encounter a few other variables. Those are imagination, memory, and cognition. So, even if someone says it's the common sense thing to do, even if it is the common sense thing to do, there are those three things that you should watch out for or be aware of, because that's how the mind works. We don't always think we know the answer, yet on some level, I'm sure we do. We grapple with moral and ethical ambiguity, probably more as an exercise of the ego more than anything else. And we play games with ourselves through the imagination, with our memory and dreams, and different cognitive states of incoherence and correspondence. So there are two basic ways to analyze truth, and those are to be coherent, which is maybe being in agreement with or consonant of a bigger given system, such as a philosophy, theology, or ideology. The other qualitative way of finding truth would be the theory of correspondence, which means that whatever you are seeing has to be something that is already within you. For instance, if you see a lot of evil in the world, that might indicate that you have some skeletons in the closet, some issues buried that are causing you to at least project that awareness and concern outwardly. Coherence works a little bit differently. That's kind of how we assess what's good or not. So, should you steal? Well, maybe there are moral gray areas here, but most any philosophy, religion, or culture will say that this is not the best practice overall, and that you should temper it with, I guess, hard work and reverence for elders, and respect for animals and children, to temper probably the ego, because the mind and its strange ideas That's what tends to get us into trouble. Common sense, not always so easily ascertained, but when utilizing either coherence or correspondence, you should be able to muddle through it, aiming away from evil deeds, listening to what society says are the basic goods, in turn following the natural law, and you yourself coming into a greater sense of orderliness.